Better days are coming, and better days are here right now.
Governor Neil Abercrombie gives an update on his 90-day plan to help Hawaii's homeless. But has any progress been made? Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Yamada. Pamela Young is on assignment. In May, Governor Neil Abercrombie dialed up the state's effort to end Hawaii's homeless problem when he announced a 90-day action plan. With one more day to go, the state's homeless coordinator gave a progress report at the Next Step shelter in Kaka'ako today. As KITV4's Shane Enright reports, the next step is not so short-term.
Focused to ending homelessness.
Over the last 3 months, Hawaii's head of homelessness says coordination of state and city agencies, along with support from volunteers, made a dent in the homeless population.
In Waikiki and the urban core, over 200 people have been moved off the streets, out of shelters, into transitional and permanent housing. 40 of those people were vulnerable. I mean, they were really in desperate need.
Mark Alexander says in Waianae, 85 people are no longer homeless, and there is also movement on the neighbor islands. On the Big Island, 136 homeless are now living in transitional or permanent housing. On the Valley Isle, 65 people, and 44 on Kauai. David CANNELL says even with Social Security checks providing him with a steady income, he says landlords find him a risk.
They're not going to take someone that barely kept scraping by. As a matter of fact, that's how we got evicted from our place, because they found out I was not working anymore.
This is also the first weekend the Next Step shelter has remained open, a goal the governor hoped to accomplish within his 90-day plan. But Governor Neil Abercrombie says shelters are not the solution. Instead, permanent housing continues to remain the long-term goal.
We need to move on making housing available. It is one thing to have shelter. It is another thing to get to housing.
The governor also says the state's action on homelessness is not related to APEC's arrival, when Hawaii will host leaders from around the world, including President Barack Obama.
APEC comes, the APEC goes. We don't have anything based on any timetables or anything else. And the kind of speculation that's out there about APEC and homelessness only detracts.
Shane Enright, KITV4 News.
Alexander says one challenge facing the state is its inability to keep homeless who agree to go to a shelter from returning to the streets. He says on any given day there are 6,200 homeless living in Hawaii.